Nvidia, all right, Nvidia right over here, 120.15. We saw quite a, I would say, a close yesterday. We saw quite a close yesterday. And that would be, let's see, right? I would say that, let me go to draw this resistance level for Nvidia right now at about 151.50. Right? 150. I think we have talked about this level quite a while back already. I think this is a very key psychological resistance for almost a year. We have, neared it, and we came down. We neared it. We just cannot go above the 150. In fact, last week before we saw the sell down, all right, we actually neared it to near 144, 143, and then we came down again. Does it make sense? So I think 150, I mean, first of all, is a psychological resistance level, right? It's like, any full whole number, 200, 100, 150, that kind of thing, right? That's why we give a bit of a weight to it as well, all right? And of course, we have seen it touch a couple of times, and not just touch, but touch, and then you see bearish candlestick coming out. Look at it. It's a pretty bearish Marubozu candle coming out, a bearish spinning top coming out. So all that this means that this 150 is a bit hard to cross lah. I'm not saying cannot lah, but a bit hard to cross for now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 1 more month, 2 more months, right? Nobody knows, but we might still see selling as we approach that, all right? But so it's hard to cross, right? But one day, if we really cross, I mean, it's hard, right? But if we can really still cross it, right? And that's a different story. That means we are like free. But, if we go to like 15 something, 155, 160 or above it, right? That is where we could be another phase up, all right? But if we are still below it, then we are pretty much still, I would say, consolidating. Okay, so let's take a look at where could the potential support level be. Well, I would say, of course, we have this 100. 100 would be a psychological support level. That was pretty much the resistance in 2024. I mean, last year before we broke above it, came back down, respected the same, resistance, psychological horizontal support, not one time, but 2 times. So of course, this will be where, I think some really good bargain hunting can come back, right? In 100 to 110, and anything in this range. I mean, if I can just give you a range right over here, that would be where, we might see some bargain hunting right over here, because that's where we have rebounded in August and in September, right? Right over here. So of course, if you ask me, then wait, go back down to like, 110 or 105 for sure. Nobody's sure about that, right? Nobody can predict that you will go down to 102 or 105 or 110. Nobody will know. But what I know, I mean, based on what we see from the chart, is that if it does hit here, right? If it does hit to these zones right over here, well, because of what we have seen previously, bullish candles coming out, and then we saw rebounds from this zone. If we do hit that, there could be some good bargain hunting or buying pressure coming out there. It could be maybe not even 110. It could be 105. It could be maybe 115. All right, and that's where we could see some bargain hunting. All right, so that's where you want to watch out. I think the range is maybe 100 to 110, being kind of like the support zone, all the way to a key 150 as the resistance level. So if you ask me in the short term, can we still see weakness? I would say yes, a bit of weakness in the short term. Look at this, right? I think yesterday it sold off by about more than 6-7%. Pretty bearish candlestick. This is what we call like a bearish Marubozu pattern. All right, and opens high, close all the way down, red in color. Let me show you what I mean. There is no wicks. I mean, what do I mean? Wicks are like, the high of the day and the low of the day. Look at this. I mean, all these red candles, there's some wick, right? High, upper wick, lower wick, or upper shadow, lower shadow. But for yesterday bar, there's no vertical line at the top and there's no vertical line at the bottom, right? What does that mean? It means there's no high and there's no low. The high is the opening price, the low is the closing price. Does it make sense? So it pretty much opened, and then the sellers were in control, and then sell all the way down, and then close right at the day low. Does it make sense? So would that be bearish? That would be definitely more bearish, because it just shows that sellers are pretty much in control throughout the day. All right. So yeah, if you ask me, based on this candlestick bar, based on the short-term trend, based on the green line also starting to point down, we could see some short-term weakness. As I say, to where? To the 100, to 110, to 115, around that zone. Hopefully, we see some bargain hunting and some bullish candles coming back. And if I can quickly turn on the signals right over here, pump, you could see that, well, we actually had a couple of bearish signals coming. Look at this 1, 2. I think in fact, like that was not yesterday. That was like maybe on the Tuesday. All right, Tuesday we got a bearish signal, and then we started to sell down last night. All right, so we got some bearish signals coming out. So if you ask me, definitely some weakness in the short term. All right, hopefully we see some good support coming in from 100 to 110, maybe to 120 as well. All All right, so that would be for Nvidia, NVDA. Baba, is it Alfred? Let me just see. Okay, maybe I'll just do Alibaba. I think seems like a few people are asking about Baba, B-A-B-A, Baba, Alibaba, right? Okay, good. B-A-B-A, let's go. Alibaba Group Holdings, BABA, that will be pretty much the first stock right over here. Let's go to take a look at it. Wow. Okay. Wow. So this is Alibaba. I think pretty good. Okay, this is the one that's listed on the US. I mean, today's US market, right? So BABA, the one that's listed on the US Stock Exchange. Of course, there's one listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange as well. But today we'll be looking at the US, right, listed one, right? So BA Alibaba. So I think not too bad. The price now is 136 US dollar plus. If you ask me, in like September, well, we got a bearish signal. Came all the way down. Some bearish signal went down a bit. But I think it really woke up. It really woke up, I think, right over here in like January, 24th January. Look at these guys. We got not one, but two bullish signals right over here on the 24th of Jan to be exact, and the 28th of Jan to be exact. All right, I think why did we have a bearish bullish signal? I think we kind of broke this resistance at about the $90. I think it was like $90 was a resistance. You can see came down. Finally, we attempted to break the $90, and there we go. I think it looks pretty good. Right? It looks pretty good. We have already gone up. I'm not too sure exactly when you have bought Alfred, but it looks like, from 90 all the way. From these bullish signals, it's like 57.9% gain. I think it's a pretty good profit. Right? If you want to take some profit along the way, right? That is, I leave it to you. But I think what you could do right now is to take steps to kind of like protect your profit. So I think the longer term trend, looking at the rates and the blue line, looks okay. So as I said, the rate above the blue, right? And that has been the way since like August last year. The longer term trend has gradually turned up. Right? The short term trend, if you ask me, it was down. Right? In September. October, down, flat. But when we got these bullish signals coming out in January, right? So this bullish signals is a separate confirmation, right? But now we got the bullish signals. We broke the horizontal resistance level, plus the green 20 days moving average line also started to point up, right? Whereby, it means that the short-term trend has turned up as well. Is the green line still pointing up? Well, answer is yes, right? So I think it looks okay, right? Just that I think it might have gone up a bit too fast, okay? So you might want to take some profit along the way, maybe near 150. I think near 150, I think some bargain and some profit taking is starting to come back. If you can draw this horizontal resistance level here, I think we are pretty much at an all-time high, or maybe back to where we were in 2022, 2021. So I think 150 could be a psychological level, right? When it hits the near 14 something, 145, 148, 147, whatever. Take some profit if you want, all right? That could be a major resistance, all right? And if you're talking about like maybe some support level, what I could do is that I could turn on what we call the trailing support. So this is the indicator that I have, right? It comes up with bullish and bearish signals to guide you on when to get in, get out. Attend one of those free webinars to understand a bit more. But right now, let me just turn on the trailing support. So you can see right over here, when we actually, let me just remove all these slides, right? When we actually have this bullish signals coming out, look at this pump, right? In January, I mentioned just now, right? A trailing support pops up. What is a trailing support? Well, it gives the stock space to move up, and it accounts for volatility of the stock as well. All right, so it's called trailing support. So trailing means follow lah. So you follow the stock as it moves up, but don't follow too closely lah. Give it some space as well lah, right? And as it moves higher, it follows it. So you give it some space to move up, and hopefully it moves up more, it follows more. Does it make sense? And this is what we call breathing space and allowance for the stock, such that if we were to stay above it, are we still above it? The answer is yes, right? So as long as you stay above this, trailing support, I think it's still pretty okay. It's given the space to hopefully move higher. If it breaks 150, I think we'll follow up even more, all right? But if we were to go below it, right? If you go below it, right? Like this is the green line right now, the trailing support, if we can kind of extend it, right? So that is kind of like the trailing support, maybe around the 120, right? So if they go below 120, then not so good lah. Go below 120, maybe you might see a bit of a retracement, a bearish signal might come out, and that's where you want to be careful. But I think now anything near 120 to 130, if you can hold above, I think that's where some bargain hunting is slowly coming back. All right, so that would be pretty much the first stock on Alibaba.